First of all, I wanted to thank Common Good and especially Alicia for having us here and helping this event come together in a nice, fun outdoor space. Good to get out of the museum once in a while. So like I said, I'm the assistant curator at the CCMA, and when I first started, my very first project was to curate the summer exhibition, Hooking Up, Meet the Collection, which I think I've seen most of you at already. But for those of you who don't know or don't remember, the idea behind the exhibition was to pair works from the COD permanent collection with works by contemporary Chicago area artists. And a lot of these pairings came together pretty quickly, but a few of them needed some more creative thinking. One of those being the Rembrandt etching titled Man in Arbor, which was a little bit trickier for a couple reasons. One, it's teeny tiny, it's only like 2.5 by 3 inches, so we wanted to make sure, why is it so small? I know. We wanted to make sure it wasn't kind of like awkwardly dwarfed by whatever it was paired with. But also, it's a Rembrandt, it deserves something a little more special. And really, what could be more special than being paired with a custom painted 26 by 13 foot mural? So the mural was a really fun and exciting thing to be doing, and when we first started deciding on that, the first artist that came to my mind was Jeffrey Swider-Peltz. I'd seen his work around Wheaton and thought that his fun, dynamic lines and the movement he puts in his work would really bring the Rembrandt to life. And so I'm really grateful that he agreed to participate in this project, and I'm amazed by how great the mural turned out, and just his whole attitude and personality was really fun to have in the museum for a couple weeks, particularly during the stress that is an install period. So thank you for that. Also, thank you to the CCMA director and head curator, Justin Whitty, for all of his support and help along the way, and Maria Lee and Maddie, who both also helped a lot with the exhibition and having it all come together. So I don't want to talk too much. I want to give Jeffrey plenty of time to do his thing. So we're going to go ahead and give Jeffrey a warm welcome. And after he talks about his background and artistic practice, we'll do a little Q&A and then hang out and drink cocktails. So let's welcome Jeffrey Swider-Peltz.
Well, I think I know most of you here. That's great. Yeah, so thanks for this is my first artist talk, so the idea that I have for it is that I'm gonna make some dots and then try to connect them and see if that kind of makes sense for this mural. Julia explained a little bit about, well, actually, you didn't explain about what the mural looked like. For those of you that haven't seen it, do we have another one? Oh, it's on the back side. Okay, perfect. So I hope that the mural didn't awkwardly dwarf the Rembrandt etching, but it definitely did dwarf it because I asked Julia to give me as big of a space as I could use, and she definitely gave me one of the 4 side walls to use, and I used all of it. I don't know if that was anything that you had in mind, but I know that maybe I could go on the door, maybe not, and I definitely went as big as I could and wild. So the show Hooking Up's really cool because it pairs, as Julia said, contemporary Chicago artists with works in your collection or other people's collections. I think, right? In Chicago? Yeah.
The
COD Public Collection. And a lot of the connection, was the mural the only commission piece that you guys did? Okay, so the unique thing about the mural is that I got to work with the piece that I was in conversation with. The other pieces work really well together as well, and they often are, from what I remember, discussing maybe similar subject matter, similar concepts and themes. The interesting thing about the mural and the Rembrandt etching is that a lot of the dialogue was strictly about form, and I don't know a ton about Rembrandt, but if you look at a lot of his etchings, they're very suggestive. lots of movement and suggestive marks in the etchings that though the marks kind of hold their own, they're also very descriptive. And so what the mural did was lift some of those suggestive marks and make them, blow them up, like actually took 4 marks, I think, from the etching, blew it up on Illustrator, made them a shape, and that became the subject matter. So kind of a reversal of what was the focal point in the pieces. So that was fun to do and fun to specifically make a piece that was based off of another piece, especially a tiny, like a little, for those of you that didn't see it, Brian, the etching was like this big. So I don't know what the dimensions, but yeah, it was like that's bigger than what it was. So that is like bullet point number 1 or dot number 1. I'm gonna make a total transition after this train, no, during this train, it's not too loud, to a different topic, namely speed skating. A couple announcements. There's 2 Olympic speed skaters in the crowd. My sister Nancy, 1-time Olympian, 2010, and Brian Hansen, 3-time Olympian silver medalist, sitting right there. Woo! And they're both my teammates. So how many, I want to ask, all of you know a little bit about speed skating, ice speed skater, inline speed skating, or if you don't, raise your hand. Nothing? Okay. So we'll learn a little bit. And I used to teach art, so now I feel like I'm a teacher with my nice little paper board. We're going to use charcoal on. Does anyone know where the charcoal sticks are? Right there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so those of you who kind of know speed skating and who are not my family, I want to know, like, can you tell me, shout out names of speed skaters that you know?
Eric Hyden.
And you won't hurt their feelings. Who? Eric Hyden. So back from the 80s.
Does Apollo Ono count?
Apollo Ono, short track speed skater, 2010s, 2010s. Not you. Anybody else?
It took multiple people.
You knew Hyden. Back there? No?
Everybody
Okay.
from the Netherlands.
Yes. Netherlands is the powerhouse country of long track speed skating, and South Korea is like the powerhouse of short track speed skating. No, Danny, I've already been signed, so I can be less stressed about this. So, just a little visual. There's two disciplines of speed skating. There's short track, which is done on a hockey rink, and long track, which is done on a 400-meter oval, which is like a running track. And so I'll draw it out simply here. And does anyone know, who is not my family, how many people race at one time?
And which,
How many people race at one time in long track speed skating? 2. Yes, correct. And so you are skating this track where one person skates an inside lane until the back stretch, and I'm gonna call this the back stretch, put an X there, and they switch to the outer lane. And then after the outer lane, they switch to the inner lane. Okay, and the interesting thing about, and you have 2 people skating at one time, so on the back stretch, they both cross paths. So the interesting thing about the strokes when you do skate is that, I'm gonna kneel here, because it's an awkward space. When you skate, the marks that your blades, or even rollerblades make in the ice, looks like this. Right stroke. Hold on, I gotta do this. Yep, left stroke, right stroke, left stroke. Something like that. So you have like an inner curve and an outer curve, inner curve, outer curve. And then the turn will look something like this. Okay? So it's a sport where very much you're making marks on the surfaces that you're playing on. Bullet point number 3. Danny, we need to take this off. A few years ago, my senior show for college involved involved doing speed skating exercises with a pencil attached to some part of my body, like my head, or charcoal on my feet, or something in my hand. And I did band sprints, and I would like touch the piece of paper at the end of it that was like put far away on a wall. And another one that wasn't a part of the show, I'll demonstrate here in a second. Yeah, is what I'll demonstrate here in a second. But after I do this, I want you to be thinking in your heads, what kind of movements and motions do you do during the day? Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for coming. Did you come inside or
We
from
came
outside?
outside. We're from the college. And
Okay.
I brought some younger students if that's okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're like part way through, but like that's all good.
We
You
were in
came
the
to the
gal-
most important part. Yeah.
We were in the gallery looking for
Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
you. It took us a
You're like, we're
minute
going to a bar,
to
kids.
coordinate.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you guys in the back. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate a speed skating exercise that we do called up downs, and draw as I hold it on my head. But I want you all to think of, I want you all to think of different exercises or motions like dancing. Perfect. We have a signer. Dancing, walking, typing, things that you do during your daily activities or a sport or whatever you want that you can hold somewhere in your body and use it to draw. And the first 3 people that come up after me and demonstrate in front of everyone can get one of these delicious pre-made cocktails by Common Good. So be thinking. And you can choose, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds.
Must be 21 or older.
Yes.
Can
Yes.
we take them home?
Yes. Yeah. But 3, and then afterwards the rest are available to purchase. And I'll talk about those in a little bit further. Okay, so if you can, I'm just gonna have to have my back to all of you, and well, let's move it to the side a little bit so it's angled facing that way and you can still see there. Actually, you have the perfect view, people on the side. Sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so instead of having it taped to my head, I'll just hold it. And this is called up downs. Brian, Nancy, and I did this forever. And you go up and down on one leg and get used to getting in that low speed skater sit position. Brian, how many do I have to do? 12. No. I don't know.
15 then.
I'm gonna do 12. I'm gonna get so tired. Sure, more. How many is that?
11.
Okay. That wasn't too hard. And so, this is a record of that movement that I did. Anyone else have something to contribute for a pre-mixed cocktail?
What's the do that?
Any questions? Anything. So you can like hold it like by your arm and walk across it. You can do like a golf swing,
So you're just looking for someone to do any type of movement.
some kind of
They
daily
do.
like a motion or movement that would relate to an outside activity. Translate it to a mark.
All right.
So I used to be a choreographer and tap dancer. So if I were to do like a classic tap move called the Shirley Temple, that comes with hands. It goes like that. And
Do 12.
hard in these shoes.
We should give you 2.
There you go.
Perfect. What about bartending? How does bartending work?
Ooh.
Or you too?
Spot right here to shake.
She's better at shaking.
I'll give it
Go for it.
So Emmanuel, you got to make an egg white cocktail.
An egg white cocktail.
Remus, get
And
some
so like
foam
hold
on
it like
this.
this maybe on the side. Okay.
Oh.
It's infinity.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
Brian, I want you to do just dry skate and hold hold it on your head. I can tell him because I know him.
Sorry. There's plenty of seating right back here, and I will scoot over. And right here.
Welcome. Are you from? Okay, kind of. With you guys? All three or one? Just one. Okay. Yep.
You might want to go hat backwards.
And try to like maintain connection on the paper.
What's the
I'm gonna
activity?
try.
Nice.
What's this called?
All right, for those of you who just entered, we have here, Brian, we need a new one. Try to push a little lighter. Oh, yep. This is three-time Olympic speed skater and silver medalist Brian Hansen.
In his most honorable performance.
Did it break?
No, you're doing
That's
great.
good.
You have 50 more. So.
No, dude. I'm out of shape.
Stay low.
Yeah, his last Olympics was 5 years ago. Okay, that's good.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah. Actually, the cool thing is Brian, it's not a straight line back and forth. You actually get down into it and relax, right? Like we were taught. So for those of you who just came in, we're drawing motions based on physical movement of something that you might be familiar with doing. So for me and some of my friends, we used to be ice speed skaters, and so we're doing some goofy looking things here. But Emmanuel just did cocktail. What was the drink called?
It's just like an egg white cocktail.
Egg white cocktail, whiskey sour.
You guys shaking a lot.
So, you get a pre-mixed cocktail. Julia, I don't know. Yes? Yes. All right, you get it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Do we have one more? We've done
Oh, we got a
one,
volunteer
two.
right here.
Oh, we got one here.
Okay.
This is a crossover move I used to do in basketball. It was an in, out, back. It's a very
Oh.
I think that's the broken one.
We're down to 1.5.
Were you a point guard?
Shooting guard. So it's like a in, out, big swing.
Oh. There we go.
You had to sell this move and breaks back up.
Awesome. Is it me or am I seeing a face?
It is a face.
The uncanny valley or something. So, cool. Well, these movements and lines, so maybe this is part of the connecting the dots part. Movements and lines are very much an inspiration for my work when I do murals. The piece at the Cleve Carney exhibition, I don't know if you guys have been there, looks like this. So there's a lot of lines and shapes suggestive of movements, overlapping, suggestive or resembling depth. And I like creating little arenas or big arenas that allow the viewer to almost become an athlete, to move in, to go in and out, and to feel a lot of energy and excitement by the environment.